I think it is interesting at this point to step back and look at the whole picture. My side, love and appreciation, gratitude for everything that Green Bay has done for me. I think since Friday, I made it clear that my intention was to play, and my intention was to play.
You guys already know how I feel about making Aaron Rodgers content. It's some of the most fulfilling yet exhausting content that I happen to make each and every summer. I'm hoping that this summer will be the final summer that I have to chase around all of this news and all this information and compile it for you guys in a nice 10 to 15 minute video. And as a result of today, that appears to be coming true. Before we get to the content, make sure you drop, like, subscribe, and turn on our notifications to help the channel grow. Now that we get all that out of the way, work! So I've made almost $5,000 playing this game over the past couple months and posting my picks and selections onto my Instagram story for you guys to follow them. And the game that I'm obviously talking about is Prize Picks. Right now, when you use my promo code Mikerophone, they'll match up to $100 of your initial deposit with another $100. And it's been a lot of fun. I mean, yesterday I had Killian Hayes getting less than 21 points, rebounds, and assists. You went into the third quarter with 18, and he finished the game with 20.5. I can't tell you how euphoric that feeling was when I saw that I was able to make $210 off of a pick that came within 0.5 of not hitting. So if you want to check out Prize Picks, make sure you use my promo code Microphone for a free 100% deposit match up to $100. And follow me on Instagram if you want to follow my picks on Instagram. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? The Aaron Rodgers situation is one that we have been obsessing over the last couple of years on this channel. Last offseason, the Denver Broncos offered reportedly multiple first-round picks for the opportunity to trade for Aaron Rodgers, but Aaron Rodgers decided that he wanted to remain on the Green Bay Packers. This is after the Denver Broncos went all in on trying to win Aaron Rodgers over. Bear in mind, they went ahead and hired Nathaniel Hackett, the Green Bay Packers offensive coordinator that Aaron Rodgers was very, very fond of, in order to potentially lure Aaron Rodgers. They cleared up a bunch of cap space. Everything seemed to be perfect, and most importantly, you were going to get Aaron Rodgers versus Patrick Mahomes twice a year in that division. Unfortunately, that's not what ended up happening. Well, after a season of not meeting expectations with the Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers' future was up in the air once again. This time, it's another Nathaniel Hackett affiliated team that is pursuing him. Yes, the New York Jets actually hired Nathaniel Hackett as their offensive coordinator, but this time it makes a little bit more sense because even if Aaron Rodgers didn't go to the New York Jets, Nathaniel Hackett actually has a history of constructing some very potent rushing offenses. But through it all, throughout the offseason, originally we thought that Aaron Rodgers could join the Las Vegas Raiders. That was eventually debunked, then undebunked, then re-debunked. And then we had some moments where Aaron Rodgers admitted that he felt himself that the Green Bay Packers will go in a different direction this offseason. And it's an offseason that makes a lot of sense to go in a different direction from Aaron Rodgers. I mean, Jordan Love was drafted in the 2020 NFL Draft. My man sat behind Aaron Rodgers for 3 straight seasons and didn't utter a word. He just sat down and soaked up all the knowledge and all the information. Aaron Rodgers did make a big spectacle out of the Green Bay Packers drafting Jordan Love 2 years ago in the offseason, saying that he didn't have anything against Jordan Love, but he was kind of rubbed the wrong way as a result of them selecting him. But if there's any opportunity or any time to really see what Jordan Love is made out of after sitting behind Aaron Rodgers for as long as he has, now would be the time. He has one more season left on his rookie scale contract, plus another one if they want to extend his 5th-year option to him, which is why the Green Bay Packers traded into the first round to begin with, so they could have that 5th-year option potentially to keep Jordan Love on a somewhat smaller contract than the average quarterback would be making. Or they could just bust Daniel Jones and just pay him handsomely like a top 10 QB after seeing him perform for one season. It could happen. But what would happen this offseason was a little bit different than what would happen in previous offseasons, in the sense that Aaron Rodgers was flirting with the New York Jets a little bit more openly. You remember this clip back in November, in the middle of the NFL season, when Aaron Rodgers appeared on the Pat McAfee show.
It's not the same old Jets. This is a good football team. They're very well coached. They got good players. They added, obviously, through the draft and a couple of guys in free agency that can really play.
There's a lot of flirtation going on between the two. I mean, first things first, Aaron Rodgers would meet with the New York Jets, and according to Diana Russini, in the wake of an extensive in-person meeting between Aaron Rodgers and New York Jets brass, including owner Woody Johnson, there's optimism in the Jets organization that they are on the brink of landing the future Hall of Fame QB. Sources close to the situation tell ESPN. While the optimism existed before the California meeting, Woody Johnson felt it was important to meet in person, sources said. Johnson left the meeting excited and satisfied about the potential match. As the Jets internally are working under an optimism that this will happen, the Jets and Packers remain engaged in conversation about compensation and contract. Those conversations already started before the meeting, and so now we will wait to see if the Jets can close a deal to bring a future Hall of Famer from Green Bay, New York. What's also interesting is what Sauce Gardner had to say about the situation. A lot of New York Jets players openly recruited Aaron Rodgers, bear in mind, but according to JPA Football, Sauce Gardner said on his live stream that there will be package deals all over if the New York Jets get Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers could lure some players to New York for a Super Bowl push. That sounds like a lot of fun. I mean, could you imagine Odell Beckham Jr. returning to New York, but with the Jets jersey on this time? What about DeAndre Hopkins? Do you think the New York Jets would potentially swing a trade for him? He's open to restructuring his contract. There's a lot of possibilities here, and I'm sure Sauce Gardner isn't just talking about offense. Now, throughout this entire situation, I want you to understand there were several indicators that Aaron Rodgers was probably going to end up on the New York Jets, but it didn't officially happen. For example, the New York Jets clearly were doing whatever it took to shed some salary. They decided to cut Braxton Berrios, for example, to clear up some cap space. They were linked with a bunch of former Green Bay Packers. For example, earlier on the second day of the free agency tampering period, Allen Lazard was very interested in joining the New York Jets. Do you remember his final interview with the Green Bay Packers when he said this?
You expect 12 to be back in the fold next year?
I don't know where I'm gonna be at. Can't worry about somebody else.
Well, originally they were just interested in him, and then we found out via Jordan Schultz. Breaking, the Jets are signing free agent wide receiver Allen Lazard to a 4-year, $44 million deal with $22 million guaranteed. Sources tell The Score. This is coming off of Allen Lazard's best season, totaling 788-6 in 15 games with the Packers. This deal should also get things to the finish line with Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. So it seems like it's a foregone conclusion. He has to be going to the Jets. That's probably why Trey Wingo prematurely said that he has been traded to the New York Jets because, well, a lot of signs are pointing that way. And also the Jets seem to have been all in on this particular decision. The Jets didn't only pursue Allen Lazard as a former Packer and Nathaniel Hackett, a former Packers offensive coordinator that Aaron Rodgers seemed to absolutely love.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's the number one thing. There's nobody in the building that brings me more joy or is more fun to be around than Nathaniel Hackett. But he's become, such a close confidant and friend, besides a fantastic coach. Hack has been a really important part of our culture change and a part of our success on offense. I love him. Hope he doesn't go anywhere, unless I do.
But they're also linked to Randall Cobb. They're also linked to Mercedes Lewis. And right when you think it can't get any more bizarre, Diana Russini says on the second day of the tampering period that Aaron Rodgers has provided the New York Jets with a wish list of free agents that he would like them to target and acquire per sources, which included Randall Cobb, Allen Lazard, Mercedes Lewis, and Odell Beckham Jr. A lot of things pointing into a particular direction. Aaron Rodgers is straight up the general manager of a team that he has yet to get traded to. This is very peculiar. And then we found out that he had an announcement to make on the Pat McAfee show on Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Now, he's done this before. Last year, he did this and said he was going to appear on the Pat McAfee show and then said that he didn't really have any update for us on his future.
Decision, there will be no news today. No. decision on my future.
And to be honest, he opened up this show saying the same thing.
This isn't a decision day. This isn't me deciding and announcing to the world that this is what's going on.
So this was very disappointing. I mean, first of all, shout out to the great Pat McAfee. He set a freaking record on YouTube, man. There was like over 450,000 people watching this live stream live. Like, I've never seen something like this on YouTube before. Huge shout out to him for the marketing genius and the content creator that he is. But as time went on, Aaron Rodgers gave us an idea of what was going on behind the scenes, including the fact that he spent some time in the darkness, and when he came out of the darkness, he found out that the Green Bay Packers were intending to move on from him. Now, I've mentioned this before. Personally, I felt like it would be ridiculous to go into the season with Aaron Rodgers under center when you really have only one more season left on Jordan Love's contract before you consider extending a fifth-year option to him. So you really got to figure out whether or not Jordan Love is the future at this point. And when you consider the gigantic step back that the Green Bay Packers also took with Aaron Rodgers under center, it made a lot of sense to move on. And I'm kind of surprised that Aaron Rodgers didn't take this into consideration while he was in the darkness, but that's what he says. But through the entire conversation with Pat McAfee, he was dropping some hints such as this.
In fact, that's already happened. You know, we're actually days past this. This is kind of clearing things up, I think.
And then we found out what the decision was. And it's honestly what I was assuming since the past couple of days. And for once, I was right. But this is what I was assuming. Aaron Rodgers, which to be honest isn't necessarily a surprise to this channel. We've had Aaron Rodgers jersey swapped or press conference swapped onto the New York Jets for like the past month. As a matter of fact, there's a reason why a few days ago, Trey Wingo tweeted out that the Green Bay Packers are trading Aaron Rodgers to the New York Jets. The thing is that although he's being traded to the New York Jets, there's one problem. They haven't been able to agree on compensation. Now here's where it gets spicy. You remember when Aaron Rodgers said this?
And in my inner circle, nobody talks to Ian Rappaport, to Adam Schefter, or to any of those people. So if you're one of those people who's talking to those people, you're not in the inner circle. I have no problem with Ian Rappaport, Schefter. I think they're really good at their jobs. When it comes to me, they don't know shit.
Well, apparently, earlier today, Adam Schefter had this analysis on Aaron Rodgers, and he said this on Get Up.
And my understanding is that within the Packers organization, worth a package that was similar to the one that the Rams once got from Matthew Stafford, which was multiple ones.
Now this is where it gets interesting. Apparently Adam Schefter texted Aaron Rodgers recently, and Aaron Rodgers told him straight up to lose his number. I don't necessarily know if he just doesn't like insiders or if he just doesn't like Adam Schefter, or I don't know what the situation is, but you can tell that Adam Schefter had to go in and pretty much guess as to what is holding up this deal. And to be honest, that's a very legitimate guess, but it turns into a game of a bunch of insiders trying to clear up the truth of something that is relatively ambiguous. What do I mean by that? Well, Tom Pelissero had something completely different to say about an hour ago. The Green Bay Packers and the New York Jets continue to negotiate on an Aaron Rodgers trade, but have not yet agreed to trade terms. Green Bay isn't looking for multiple first-round picks like other QBs have commanded in recent years. Talks are ongoing. And I honestly got to give props to Adam Schefter because I'm just getting this right now. Schefter really made the best out of a situation where Aaron Rodgers tried to bury it.
Listen, just ask Schefter what I text him when he somehow got my number and texted me. You know, I didn't respond to Diana Rossini, I think her name is, but like I would say the same thing that I told Sheffy. Lose my number. Ooh. Nice try. Listen, I'll speak for myself. I'm sure there'll be people that
him because he straight up tweeted what Aaron Rodgers said to him when Adam Schefter texted him. So I gotta give props to Shefty for being a good sport. Other important notes about his appearance on the Pat McAfee show include the fact that he completely debunked what Diana Rossini said about him giving the New York Jets some sort of wish list, although it's kind of intriguing considering the fact that they pursued Alan Lazard and they were linked to Randall Cobb and they were also linked to Mercedes Lewis. And I think that about covers everything you need to know about the Aaron Rodgers situation currently. Now, I wanted to give you guys a heads up. You're running a huge giveaway on my Twitter account. If Aaron Rodgers gets traded to the New York Jets, I'm giving away $120 to 3 followers that retweet and like that tweet. It's pretty much me doing a giveaway for you guys. And let me know in the comment section down below, between Ezekiel Elliott potentially getting cut and Baker Mayfield signing with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, what do you want us to cover next? Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.